Also, what I succeeded on was that I brought an intern to the office. It's quite hard because getting a quality IT intern is a bit of a problem, but it goes very well. We even are looking into the possibility of having another one consecutively. And then we're also working with subcontractors. For example, the esncard.org, this is where it worked very well. I'm right now looking into the possibility of using one for erasmusintern.org as well. Plus, of course, IT committee, very important. IT committee needs a sustainable HR strategy and mentorship system, and this allows it to develop many cool projects for you. You've seen a couple examples during my presentation yesterday. Okay, to be more specific, I'm going to my actions. What would I like to do next year if elected? First thing is ESN app. As you could have seen yesterday during the info market, I hope you checked the IT committee stand, it is pretty much done. You could click on it, it works, and so on. So it will be released very, very soon. But we already have new directions where to go with the next development of the next versions. We're going to take into account your suggestions that you gave us yesterday, your feedback. Plus, there will also be a feedback form for users to give us feedback directly from the app. One thing that I'm sure of is that it will be connected with esncard.org to display local discounts wherever you are. Another thing, big project is Galaxy. Galaxy is maybe not so sexy project, but it's been working and it's a very stable tool that hasn't really been worked on so much recently because it's a stable project. However, it's becoming outdated and sooner or later we'll have to deal with some security issues because of that. And this is a great opportunity to also revise the role system that we have there. Plus, maybe deal with one of the biggest frustrations with Galaxy, which is the lack of some of the pin codes. We're currently missing about 200. Implementing a new version should surely solve that problem as well. Last idea of mine that I would like to share with you is the homepage for IT projects. Introducing many more IT solutions and services is becoming kind of unclear where to find them. I would like to introduce a central platform which would allow us to provide you with all the downloads, possibility to ask questions, list the frequently asked ones, to request support, to report issues, and request features. As for the last slide, why me? Because I have a comprehensive strategy for this position, and I have the motivation of seeing this strategy work in practice this past year. Thank you very much.
As Thomas on stage for his presentation.
The other way. Ik ken hem ook niet. Ja. Ik vind hem zeker wel leuk mogelijk. Maar ik vind het niet genoeg weten om...
Ik denk, ja, ik ga wel mensen aan om tweede.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Thomas, and this is my presentation for the candidacy of IT position for ESN. So, in case you don't know me, I'm 25 years old. I'm 197 tall, which makes me, I think, really suitable for the position. So far, all the WPS has been around this height. I've studied mathematics. I've had the Erasmus in Belfast and Northern Ireland, and I'm come from the section of Eastern Carpathians of Eastern Greece. So I would like to take you through why me question. So, first of all, because of my experience, I won't bother you with a lot of these things. I mean, you can probably see a lot of this in my CV, so I would like to focus on this part related to the position. Which means I was IT responsible for 2 years on my local section. I've been 3 years member of my national web team, And 1 year, I was leading this team to the position of national webmaster, which I'm really proud of. Also, I've been in the accessibility team, last year's team for 1 year, and for IT committee member for 1 year as well. So I'd like you to choose me because of my skills. I mean, I studied mathematics, meaning I have some computational theory background, some object-oriented programming, and data structures, but just the basics mainly because everything else is self-taught. I know that anyone can learn things in ESN because I did. Everything else in server management, in Drupal, and all the web development stuff, I actually learned by myself because my system needed it, my country needed it, and now I'm ready to give it back to ESN. So if you want proof about this statements I just made, I will let you know about. I've actually drafted the whole strategy of IT in the East in Greece last year. I actually was promoting the projects all the time, Galaxy Supply and many more. I actually developed 2 Galaxy Logins platforms for our East in Greece forum and the cloud service that is going to be available. Actually, it is already available. And actually, also I think you've already seen my work on accessibility. The site questionnaire and mobility map, it was something completely new. And during last year, I actually worked on the whole IT part of it. Also other various stuff, like small projects like Candid blogs or other small platforms. In any case, I also have a lot of soft skills, meaning that I've been in many teams, I've had like many projects, so I believe I'm really flexible on like when cooperating in a team, and I'm also obsessed with structure and consistency. This is what we do actually in mathematics. So also, I can do things the IT committee way, pull, add, commit, and push. So I'll pull myself together in hard times, add new ideas to the team, I'll commit myself to the network and push myself to the limit. Also, for those who notice, I can make stupid ID jokes. So bear with me. So all of these things actually proved it. Last year I actually was outside of my town. I had no PC and I actually had to stay active through a mobile phone. I actually managed to do this. I stayed active in the community, developed stuff, and didn't lose touch. So let me talk to you about my goals for the network. Let's begin. Of course, I want to keep Galaxy as our main identity tool. We have Galaxy Logins, and our role system is becoming more and more important. We have many tools for the network, and we actually develop things for you, for the sections. Everything we develop, we have in mind that it has to be used by everyone, not just at the international level. Documentation, of course, everything has to. We have to ensure our continuity in the network, so we have to like document everything and have tutorials, guides, and everything we need so that the next person can take it on from there. Also, I want to focus on these two, like project support. Since I was in the accessibility team, I know that the project has many needs in terms of IT, so I'm really to focus on this part. Also, since we already have a lot of data, like project reports, emails, and wiki, PDFs, everything, I really want to like organize it, make it more accessible, and we can tap into this information and useful feedback we had in the previous years. So for the committee, I know about the committee, we already have the new structure, which has proven really functional. So I'm going to keep working on this. So other than that, I want to make it like a bit more friendly. I know that it's not really clear enough. I mean, what the committee does, what is strategy, what is actually doing. So I want to make a clear image, a clear strategy. We hope that Comcom now will help us with that. And of course, like make it more approachable to the national and local level. I want to like reach out to these people because I know there are many projects in the national and local level. I know that there are many people who are working on stuff and they don't show this, and they can't actually we can't take advantage of it for the rest of the network. So whenever something is being developed, it has to be on the benefit of everyone. Thank you for your attention. I'm at your disposal for everything.
Thank you. I ask Adam back on stage, and the speakers list is open. Again, please, we are late. Think very hard if your question is really contributing to your choices.
Yes, it's from
Yeah. Moment. Of ik kom zo bij je aansluiten.
Good job.
Good job.
Thanks, man. You liked it?
Yeah, it was good.
I wanted to say one thing, you know, about the YouTube stuff. I want to say, we can collaborate with a little bit of this.
Okay.
I thought you would have liked to hear that as well.
Is internet working? I have cable.
Okay.
So it's working fine. I was streaming the entire
candidates? Photos?
Hello? First of all,
No.
The candidates were doing on Instagram.
First of all, thank you for your attendance and your presentation. And I have a question for you because during the previous, for both of you, during the previous presentations about DPA and IT committee, there was a lot of mentioning of development of tools that, the using and development of the tools that help sections without strong IT or technical human resources. I would like to ask if to promote this goal more, if you ever considered using software as a service approach to development of both new and old IT tools. All right, thanks. Yes, we have. I mean, in the committee in general. So, yeah. The problem with this approach is that it means that then we're taking as a committee, or as in international level in general, we're taking a lot of responsibilities on ourselves.
No, I'm not sure about that.
And we do not really have the resources, especially in terms of human resources, so that we could make it sustainable. Thank you guys for raising your hands. I would like to emphasize that.
Everyone was saying thank you.
So it is very complicated. It can be done in some cases, but it's very hard to do it for all the services for sure. So can you repeat the question? If you've considered adopting software as a service approach to development of new IT tools. Okay, yeah. I will not diverge a lot of what Adam said. I mean, we already have like some specific ways of working in the committee, and we actually work a lot of mentoring and learning on using this system, like Drupal and other systems. So we cannot like have a lot of different things inside. That would be much more difficult to maintain. So we try to keep on specific ways of working in order to be able to ensure the continuity and the maintenance. Okay, thank you, and good luck, people.
Can we please not wish everyone every time good luck? I know it's nice, but
my question is for both my friends. My question is for you, for both of you, my friends. During the last year, what have you observed as a need for a completely new service? As a need for? What kind of need you observed during the last year for a completely new project?
Okay, for a completely new project is something I already mentioned in my presentation. It was like to actually manage all the information we have. I mean, we already have the wiki for like information transferring, but I believe we can actually use all the other tools we have. Like you can search into PDFs, for example, or there's the senior mailing list, have a lot of archive, many reports written. So I believe we haven't actually found a successful way to search through all of them and tap through all of this information. So I would like to search new tools to actually make this possible. So this is, I think, what we made as a new project.
Yep, it was actually my presentation. I mean, you could argue that it's not completely new because it does some of the stuff that were done already before, but it's the homepage. I think that developing all those services I was talking about, the tutorials, the help center, the things that were scattered around and sometimes non-existent at all, putting them all together on one side. This is something that's very important also for the image of the committee, and it's a new approach that can come from our side. Thanks, Simon.
Hello, Michal is in Czech Republic. My question is for both candidates, and it goes like, do you think that we are currently using tools which are interesting for ESMBs, so they're willing to learn them and get involved in our IT projects, or do we rather use kind of obsolete frameworks like Drupal, which might deter potential members of IT committee?
I'm not sure if I completely understood the first part. Like, what tools are you talking about when you're comparing them with frameworks?
Like frameworks like Drupal, which we are creating models for.
Yeah,
if it's a good idea to make modules, or if it's interesting enough for potential members, so they get experience which they can use in their future careers.
To get experience with Drupal.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the greatest selling points of Drupal, I would say, is that the European Commission is currently pursuing strategy of moving all their services to Drupal platform. So it is an exciting platform that will for sure develop fruitfully in the future.
Yeah, I also agree because well, we all in the IT committee think that Drupal is awesome. The thing is that Drupal, compared to other content management systems, it isn't exactly a content management system, more framework, as you said. The thing is that it's actually for the professionals. I mean, if we use other platforms or something else, it would be okay. Maybe it would be even easier, as you said. But Drupal, if you put it in the right hands, you can create anything. And if our members learn this, they can actually use it later on their on the labor market and so on.
Hi, I'm Polidana from Jest Poland. I'm from the best two committees, ComCom and ITCom. I have a question to both of you. What would you improve in comparison to the previous WPA?
Let's see, you answer. Okay, so what I would like to improve is what I mentioned in my presentation about reaching out. I think so far the IT committee hasn't actually sought out to see the national and local projects. I mean, I don't mean like to invite them in the community like really easily. You have to actually stay as a core team. But I think that if we actually make this more open to the other levels and make more discussions like in the webmasters mailing list or on the official Facebook pages, and include them more into our project, into our way of thinking, we can actually improve more and expand even larger projects.
I'm going to go as well with the accessibility, let's say, but from a little bit different point. I'm going to talk to your ComCom side of your mind, because we have started with to cooperate with ComCom on let's say a communication strategy for IT committee and generally IT projects in the network, because they're tough selling stuff usually, and I think the cooperation went well, but it didn't go as quickly as I would hope for in the beginning. So I think that this is something that the previous WPA should have done better, to focus more on that, because then the whole committee and all the projects are easier sold to the network, and the network knows what we're doing and why we're doing it. It's also very important for them to understand that. Thanks.
I propose to close the speakers list. Are there any objections? This is not the case, so the speakers list is closed. I have still Idris, Ivana. Then please come. Okay. Continue.
Yes, okay. Idris from the Netherlands. Considering the fact that there's a lack of IT skilled people in the network, and the fact that there's a delay in delivering some of the IT projects, I wonder how you guys plan to make sure you have enough human resources in the network to serve the needs of the network. yeah, how can we make sure we have enough human resources to serve the needs of the network?
To serve the needs of the network. Yeah, cool, thanks. Basically, the idea is, and I'm almost sorry for repeating myself again, because this is the part of the communication and IT strategy that we've been presenting quite a few times already. The idea is to scale down the requirements for people that we need with some IT skills in the local or national level, to scale those requirements down so that almost everybody with at least a little technical knowledge can implement the projects that we provide from the international level. This should, in my opinion, provide a very sustainable environment.
Okay, about the human resources, I'll just say something that we already, this site also works as recruiting process for the committee and ergo for the work of the network. But other than that, I think if we okay, I'm repeating a bit myself, but if we make them more involved in the project, as I said earlier, they will be more motivated to actually participate in something like this. And also, I think there are people in the network who have IT skills. Maybe sometimes they're not using them, or they prefer to do something else. I think we can draw these people as well through these actions.
I again propose to close the speakers list. Are there any objections? Please, can you come? I mean,
okay, my question has to do I'm fine. My question has partly to do with IT, partly with communication, but as you will be working together very closely. And as the visual identity of ESN has changed and you've rebranded and added new options to the ESN card site, do you plan on doing the same with the satellite that all the sections use for their official website? And if so, when that can be expected? Like also for you guys adding the new options and making it maybe look more professional. Thank you.
Okay, for sure satellites will be in line with the visual identity manual, because that's what we also promote. I mean, if you check the features we promise satellites to the sections, is making use of the visual identity without actually taking care of anything by themselves, because it's like prepared for them to be easy. Of course, it's getting updated all the time, so it won't be hard to implement. Of course, there are some basics. The colors are going to change, for example. So I don't think it's going to be that hard. So every change that the communication part will do the visual identity, I think it will be easy to adapt to the satellites and give the image we want to the sections.
Yep. Well, the biggest difference between, because you compared the ESNcard.org and satellite, right? The biggest difference between those two is that one is responsive to satellite and the other one is not, which means that satellite displays very nicely in mobile devices, whereas ESNcard.org not so well. So this is an obvious way to go. I mean, for the ESNcard.org to implement this kind of template as well. With satellite, I have a feeling that we rolled out the template not that long ago. It was actually 1 year ago, on last AGM, when the first satellite 4.0 was released. And so it's just a year old. Implementing a new design would be maybe a little bit too soon, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm obviously not against it. It's just that I wouldn't call it a top priority at the moment.
I ask again to close the speakers list. If there are any objections, we're going to vote this time. Are there any objections? Okay, then the speakers list is closed. We still have Henry, Thomas, Joanna, Lina, Damian, Khan, Peter, Gergana, Andreas, and Karin. The speakers list is closed.
I'm Henry from ESN Finland, and since you guys have to also interact with people in your position, I would like you to name your 2 strongest and then the weakest task-related skills, as well as two strongest and the weakest soft skills.
Task related. Strongest would be 2. Wow, that's like what, 8 things I have to mention? 6. Well, 6. Ah, okay, I get it now. So 2 strongest. The managerial approach and the strategic one, these are 2 things. The downside, I would say, that I'm not that much into implementation per se. And soft skills, I was a teacher, so I mean, it's quite easy for me to explain things. I'm not sure how would I explain it in one word. Another good one would be I'm approachable.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, thanks. That was actually a good strategy.
Okay, task related. I think my my strongest parts are first of all, I learn, like I can learn the languages I need really fast, and the second is let's say. Okay, I'll go on with the weak point. So the weak point is that I haven't studied it. So someone who has maybe has a head start. In terms of soft skills, the 2 strong points are that I'm flexible. I can work with any team, and I'm also really structured as a character in my way of thinking. And the drawback is.
Thank you, Thomas.
Hello, I'm Thomas. I am the German national webmaster, and this question goes for the 2 of you. Addressing your yesterday's comment, Adam, that it's a good sign if you don't hear too much from a webmaster. Do you see yourself as a full board member or rather as a technician working in the background?
Can you repeat the question? As a full member?
Do you see yourself as a full and regular board member, or do you see yourself rather as a technician who's working in the background?
Okay, no, I totally see myself as a full board member because you take part in all of the important decisions. And I believe this is important for this position to have this role as well because it has a way of thinking like more square-like, more logical. So I believe I do have a role in the board, and it's actually pretty important.
Yes, I do believe that I have a regular and important position in the board. And I think that it is mostly because I always voiced that I consider the board positions should only consist of those that are strategic. Now you could argue that the WPA is semi-strategic, maybe not. I think that the person on that position should always have the strategic thinking and therefore be a valid part of the board because the development of IT tools and all this IT aspect is also fully a strategical part of our network.
I share yes in Poland, and I have a question. Since many sections are discussing very important issues through mailing lists, which are provided by Google, and which are on, let's say, domestic accounts, right? And if you see any possibility that they can provide, for instance, Google or any other partner with some sort of professional accounts, which will be more efficient and safer for our organization.
You're talking about national level. Okay. There are, of course, solutions which are for free as long as you have people to implement them. So you would have to have some webmaster to create the mailing lists. We're using this on the international level, so it's pretty easy to set up. The other possibility would be to use Google services if you want them for free. That is possible in, I think, like 7 or 8 countries around Europe that already recognize NGOs as educational, under educational license of Google Apps. And I think I'm getting too technical here. So it is possible in these 2 ways.
Okay, I'm partially covered. It will be really hard, like for ESN, for international level to provide service to national because it would become too much in terms of numbers. Of course, I've searched some open source solutions. I haven't found any easy to suggest right now, but if someone like wants to implement it, we could actually help with some advices. Other than that, what Adam said is Google for Students would be a really good solution.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Lena. I'm from ESN Lithuania, and my question goes to Adam. So, what would you do if you would not be elected? Will you keep working on unfinished ESN projects, and if you will help the elected person to finish them?
Well, I believe that's part of my transition, right? To hand it over. So yes, at the same time, having the managerial position, I believe that would be kind of a clash. So we would have to define how far could I go in my contribution to the network after that.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Damian from Listen Poland. I have a crisis management task for both of you. So imagine that there is a hypothetical situation when all the data on the ESN services are stored in the one and only server. And we don't have any external backup system. So what would you do when one day, like now, all the data is lost and all the websites are lost? Thank you.
Okay, in such an occasion, I believe the first step is like to look for backups members have made on their own. It could be possible, but maybe even contact the company to see if they have their own backups. Other than that, maybe use some data recovery tools. Well, that will be my first steps. Afterwards, we'll have like to talk with the team to see if there's anything else.
My only thoughts are such situations shall never occur.
Welcome from ESN Turkey. My question is for both of you. What do you think about Drupal security level? Because you know we collect personal information at Drupal, and are you planning to change it?
Change what?
Drupal, you know, Drupal is not a more secure content management system. And what do you think about Drupal security level?
About Drupal security level?
Maybe you know SQL injection like that.
Yeah, I mean we had a major problem last year, but the solution for the problem as a patch for Drupal was released in hours, and if not even less. And we implemented it and released new satellite within 2 days, so that we fixed it immediately. So I think that the security is very high.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to say. I mean, we trust Drupal for its security. It has a vast community and it's trusted by many live professional websites. So since we can like react really fast on problems like this, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Hello, Petros from Cyprus. IT commit feels like something for specialists. Do you tend to do something about it?
Well, this is actually what I meant for not a clear image. It's not actually for specialists. It's not like all the members know Drupal by heart. Well, first of all, I would improve this image. Like, come to the committee, be an observer, see what we're doing, see where you can help, and then you can get involved as much as you want. For sure, there is training inside the committee which can help people improve their skills and make it professional as we can. And of course, like when we invite people to the committee and see how we have learned from the committee, like from knowing really little thing to a lot, this can draw people and make the committee like more approachable.
I will have to ask you to repeat the question because I didn't understand the whole part.
IT Commit feels like something for specialists. Do you intend to do something about it? So it can attract people more easily.
Yeah, I mean, I can only refer to the cooperation with Comcom that I was talking about. I mean, we need to change our image a little bit though, because I mean, the point is to stay a little geeky, you know, kind of special, kind of nerdy maybe, you know, but at the same time, not to feel like, you know, complete strangers to the rest of the network.
Hey, Gergana, ESM Bulgaria, where do you stand on the joint IT Comcom structure?
Joint IT?
Comcom structure.
So that the both committees would merge?
Well, in the light of IT Comcom strategy, communication strategies, to work together.
To work together? Sure. To merge as a structure? Maybe not yet. I don't know. This never occurred to me.
Well, if you actually like propose the merging, obviously it's not, because they have completely different tasks and tools and knowledge and everything. Well, compared to the strategy, the IT communication strategy that was presented to us, of course I agree, because I agree because it is actually what's now used mostly by everyone and every professional to show a better image and improve their own tools inside the network, inside their team, and for us the network.
Hello, Andreas from the UK. Question for both of you. One of the latest hot topics is the financial situation of GSN Israel. Have you ever thought of using the IT tools we have to create some monetary sources? If yes, can you please give us some examples, ideas you might have?
If I understand the question, use some IT tools to improve the finances of...
Yes, we have website, we have application, mobile app, and other tools. Have you thought about using it to create some monetary income?
Well, to be honest, I haven't thought about it, because we usually go with the open source idea. What we do is open to anyone, to everyone. Still, of course, we're not gonna like click pictures, get 100 euros in an hour. But I don't know, maybe Google Ads, which already are in an extent. I'm not sure if anything will be able to be implemented to this approach.
Yeah, well, this is something that falls a little bit outside of the competences of WPA. This is something that the partnership manager thinks about, maybe communication people think about. So I would be happy to implement it if requested, but yeah, I didn't really think about it.
They need to feed you with ideas, basically. All right, thank you very much.
Hi, Karen from Eisen Amsterdam. Actually, a question for you. If you would be re-elected, would you deal with working with a completely new team? How?
Well, I would have to, right? Because the whole team would be new. And I would deal with it. And how? I was asked this question a couple of times already. The thing is that what drives me about this position and about being in the international board is that I really enjoy the strategic dimension of it. And with new people come new ideas, which I believe will spark a lot of discussions, and this is what I strive on. So I think that it's actually cool for me.
Cheers.
Don't you come back no more, no more.
Okay. Again, a big thank you to all the candidates for their courage and their inspiration to present their candidacies. Now, we don't have so much time left. It's almost 7 o'clock, and I promised you we will finish at 7. That's why we will not have the presentation of the standing statutes and standing order changes. Can I ask for? Yeah, thank you. What we will do is I have a couple of announcements, and then we will do again a quorum check. That means again nobody leaves the room until we are done with that. ESN Finland has all their flags stolen. There are 6 flags, and please return it. Please return it to them before the Euro dinner. They need them, really. It's not cool. Also, even more serious, some webshop orders were not picked up at the info market yesterday. If you want to collect your order, your last chance will be the first coffee break tomorrow. You have to address the IB. These are these people, maybe you have heard of them. They sit in the first row, and yeah, go to them and find out what happened to your order, and bring also proof that you made the order, an email with an email confirmation of the web shop. That's enough. Yes, let me wait. Also, now that we will not present the statutes and standing order changes, since we are short on time, I will tomorrow propose to vote all of them en bloc. The reason is that all of them were non-controversial. They were approved and supported by the CNR and the board. So, in case you have any objections to any of them, because you feel you cannot agree to them, then please tell me after your national platforms. You can discuss it there. So tell me until tomorrow morning if we should separate one of the votes, because otherwise we will just have one vote for all of the changes, because they were thoroughly discussed. You will hear them again tomorrow, but I just want to prepare you for this procedural proposal that I will make tomorrow to save some time. And now I give the word to Thomas for the voting.
Actually, before going for the voting, I'm going to let the scrutinizer and the procedural editors explain why it's not really the room.
Hello.